ساتوی پسروینو داد شهیدانو کور داد باتورانو کور داد باتورانو کور داد باتورانو کور داد باتورانو کور ساتوی پسروینو داد شهیدانو کور داد باتورانو کور.
In the name of Almighty Allah, good evening and welcome to this hour's news. This is Suleiman Talash. Mullah Abdul Ghani Biradar Akhund, Economic Deputy of the Prime Minister, traveled to Tammuz, Uzbekistan to attend the opening ceremony of the Tammuz International Business Center. The press office of the official deputy, the Prime Minister, says that the Tammuz International Business Center is scheduled to be inaugurated on Thursday in the presence of Mullah Abdul Ghani Biradar Akhund, Prime Minister of Uzbekistan, Deputy Prime Minister of Azerbaijan, and high-ranking officials of Kazakhstan and Kyrgyzstan. A delegation including representatives of Ministries of Foreign Affairs, Finance, Public Works, and the Electricity Company led by the Minister of Mines and Petroleum, Mullah Hidayatullah Badri, traveled to Turkmenistan. Humayun Afghan, the spokesperson of the Ministry of Mines and Petroleum, says that the delegation will discuss with the Turkmen officials in Ashgabat about the development of bilateral cooperation in the fields of top and railways, as well as they will talk about the start of practical works of the Tapi project in the territory of Afghanistan. Minister of Education Maulavi Habibullah Agha, Minister of Economy Qari Din Muhammad Hanif, and Minister of Immigrants and Returnees Affairs Khalilur Rahman Haqqani held a trilateral meeting. In this meeting, the problems and activities of organizations and welfare foundations were discussed in terms of providing effective educational facilities to the returned refugees and internally displaced people, building schools and health centers in the towns. The Ministry of Agriculture, Irrigation and Livestock says that 271 agricultural projects worth $300 million were implemented last year. Ataullah Umari said in the program of explaining the one-year achievements of the Emirate institutions that last year 1.3 billion Afghanis loans were given to the farmers and private sectors for the Agricultural Development Fund. Meanwhile, the deputy of this ministry says that during the last year, the Ministry of Agriculture has distributed 33,000 metric tons of improved seeds to farmers and coordination with international organizations. More details in this report.
The officials of the Ministry of Agriculture, Irrigation and Livestock said that in a program of announcing the one-year achievements of the Emirate institutions, the last year, 271 projects worth $300 million were implemented in the fields of agriculture, irrigation and livestock in the whole country. According to the Minister of Agriculture, last year, the ministry has given loans of 1.3 billion Afghanis to Afghan farmers and livestock farmers from Agriculture Development Fund for the purpose of supporting the agriculture and livestock sector.
سال گذشته 1.3 میلیارد دهاقین در می عرصه زراعت و مالداری.
Last year we gave 1.3 billion Afghani loans to farmers in the field of agriculture and livestock. There are two types of loans. In addition, there is another types of installment with a small benefit. This year which is being implemented, he has given them a loan of 2 billion.
حالی که در حال تطبیق است 2 میلیارد به مردم ارائه میکند تقدیم میکند.
At the same time, the Deputy Minister of Agriculture, Irrigation and Livestock says that last year, 32,000 metric tons of improved seed and 45,000 metric tons of chemical were distributed to 660,000 farmers.
Last year we distributed 33,000 metric tons of improved and processed seeds to approximately 66,000 people. Along with it, 54,000 metric tons of white and black or chemical fertilizer were given also.
According to the officials, during the last year, 5 large cold rooms were built in the provinces that produce a large number of agricultural products and is planned to build 2 more next year.
In some provinces that have a lot of those vegetables, 5 cold storage have been built in the last year. This year when our budget was 50 million. In those provinces that have vegetables and fruits and are in dire need of cold storage, 2 cold storage will be built.
According to officials, the Ministry of Agriculture, Irrigation and Livestock has been able to increase the production of wheat in the Islamic Emirate, and Afghanistan has reached self-sufficiency in poultry production.
Mullah Nurullah Nuri, the Minister of Borders, Tribes and Tribal Affairs, visited the flood-affected families during his visit to Gore. Mr. Nuri has assured the flood victims that Islamic Emirate is addressing their problems and will continue its efforts to their families' well-being. On the other hand, the flood-affected people welcomed the visit of the Minister of Borders, Tribes and Tribal Affairs and asked for more assistance. Maulavi Najibullah Hayat Haqqani, Minister of Communication and Information Technology, met with a number of Uzbek investors. During the meeting, Uzbek investors expressed their willingness to invest in the production and import of SIM cards in Afghanistan. On the other hand, Mr. Haqqani assured the delegation that the Islamic Emirate is committed to legal cooperation with all investors based on laws and regulations. The Ministry of Public Works says that in the month of Asad this year, it has exported and imported nearly 400,000 metric tons through the railway ports of Heratan, Torgonde, Aqina and Khawaf Herat. And in the near future, they will also make depot of railway in Mazar-e Sharif, which will pave the way to expand Afghanistan's trade with the region and the world countries. Furthermore, some businessmen believe that trade through the railway is easy and cheap, and with its expansion, Afghanistan will become a major economic center in the region. More details in the report.
According to the Ministry of Public Works, nearly 40,000 metric tons have been transferred through railways in the month of Asad this year, of which 16,733 metric tons have been exported.
A total of 316,743 tons of petroleum and non-petroleum and other materials have been imported and exported to Herat province from the 4 ports of Afghanistan, which are Torgandi, Aqina and Khawaf Herat railways of the Ministry of Public Works. A part of the transfer is exporting. In the month of Asad, 16,733 items were exported. Most of them are dry fruits, mineral stones, and pomegranate juice.
Transfer made through Hayratan, Torgandi, Aqina, and Khawaf Herat railway.
255,308 tons through Hayratan port, 27,731 tons through Aqina port, 2,929 tons through Torgandi port, and 4,576 tons have been transported through Hayratan Khawaf port.
Furthermore, some businessmen say that in the present era, trade through to the railways is the easiest and cheapest businesses after sea trade, which Afghan businessmen now have access to. If it's expanded, Afghanistan will become a country with a strong economy in the region.
Train is convenient, cheap and economical mode of transportation in today's era. Therefore, if we activate the railway, export and import with our countries and neighbors, and develop the trade through the railway, we can reduce these costs. The second fastest way from the sea in the world is railway, which is used to export and import to the country. Fortunately, a railway has been built or worked on. Now every day, weekly or monthly, our imports and exports are at a high level in this way, which is in terms of prices or the way of transportation, especially in the economic sector, and has a positive effect in all sectors.
Currently, Afghanistan has commercial transaction with the Iran and Turkey through to the ports of Turkmenistan, through Torgandi and Aqina ports, Uzbekistan through Hayratan ports, and Iran and Turkey through Herat Khawaf.
And the final one is that the Ministry of National Defense says that members of the 203rd Mansouri Brigade seized a number of light and heavy weapons and ammunition from Barmal district of Paktika province. The ministry said that the weapons seized include 2 rockets, 2 M249, 2 AKM, 13 grenades, and thousands of other ammunitions. That's all for tonight. Thank you so much for watching.
ساتوی پسرو وینو دا د شهیدانو کور دا د باتورانو کور دا د باتورانو کور دا د باتورانو کور دا د باتورانو کور ساتوی پسرو